Okay, we're here with Uncle Ben, and you've been working with a petition for restoration. And I'm just wondering if you can share just a little bit about that.
Aloha, my name is Ben Lee. I'm the one that's pushing a petition through Hawaii. I have other family members doing it on different islands, a couple of brothers, cousins, nephews, and they're taking all the names they could get who's willing to sign. The basic idea of the petition is to recognize Hawaii is always going to be Hawaii. Those that per se is in charge of it, number one is the Kanaka. They're totally in charge. And the reason that they change of government was because the U.S. government wanted Pearl Harbor. So they just came with their big guns, saying we're going to take it anyway. And we'll still fight. We'll still fight with it. I met with a gentleman that lives on Niihau, and he's ready to go back to Niihau and claim his island. And that's really fine. Every island can come up if they want to. If anyone wants to meet and talk about it, I have documents. One of my main documents is um, a petition from Kamehameha the Third, the Great Mahili,
The Constitution, right?
the Constitution, where no one has title. Only the Kanaka has title of the land. All the titles they put together is all illegal. It's all called colored title. The title that you want is the one that says you have the right. And those colored titles don't say that. They say because we got the gun, we can do whatever we want. That's not going to happen. The Kanaka has graciously, actually, over 100 years being under this control of the U.S. government, needs to stop. The signing a petition can help that get started because the understanding of why we want our islands back, our nation back, is because it belongs to us. Simple as that. So the Great Mahili is going to tell you that because there is no title, only the Kanaka.
So when you're saying no title, are you saying that like all the lands that people own in the area here,
Yes,
like private, all the private property, like people
that's
have
what
houses
that's what they
and
call
the
it.
hotels,
Yeah.
and that basically that there is that if somebody put all the cards on the table, that there would be no consistency in how they got their land. Like there would be a gap
There is
somewhere.
no documents. There's no true documents. That's why when you see what the Great Mahili does say, nobody has title but the Kanaka. And the other main group is the Kekeokaina. Those born and raised in Hawaii might not have the koko or the blood, but they have the right because they lived here. And they were called under the Kanaka rule Kekeokaina. Those born and raised here can stay here. Anyone else that wants to stay here, all they have to do is sign the petition but agree to recognize what it stands for. That Hawaii is a neutral sovereign nation. It was under the League of Nations before it was turned over to the UN, United Nations. But under the League of Nations, Hawaii was a recognized nation. Japan recognized Hawaii. Japan, opened up the League of Nations to Japan. And that's why Japan was ready to take care of our queen, Queen Liliuokalani. When she got into trouble, they asked the queen, come stay with us, we'll take care of you. Nobody can touch you in Japan. She said, no, I'm going to have to stay with my people. And she did that. I mean, she knows that. Because her brother, Kalakaua, King Kalakaua, told her to make sure that Japan get his recognition. See, Japan was considered a second-class nation because they didn't get someone to give them the right to be recognized as a first-class nation. Hawaii was the one that did it because of the League of Nations. Hawaii was already a first-class nation. So no one can say Hawaii never belonged. It's all in the records of the old documents of the League of Nations and the Great Mahili. Kamehameha III made sure that would not have dictators when he took office. His constitution uses a prime minister to run the government. So we don't have a king that goes around and if he wants to kill anybody, he can. They could. But not anymore under the Constitution of Kamehameha III. It's a constitutional monarchy. They can put him in jail under the prime minister. If you break a law, you have to answer to it. I don't care who you are, but you have to answer to it. That's why you have a court system. But court system is under the jurisdiction of the American government. But we want to bring it back to where it belongs, under the Hawaiian government. So my push for the petition is to have everyone to understand what it stands for. If you have family land, you will be able to get at least 5,000 acres. But you cannot say, oh, my family has 1,000 or 10,000 acres. No, you start with 5,000. Show if you can use it properly. Once you can use it, you can get more land. But the key is, why are you going to hold land you don't know how to use yet? Once you get it, you can expand it. But you have to depend on the leaders of the nation, our nation. Because you're going to have a lot of governors. Every island is going to be run by a governor, elected governor by the people. The prime minister does the whole overall, but he has those governors taking care of those. Because someone in each island has to know what their people are like. So with that in mind, you cannot have an officer going back and forth from all different places and try to say, oh, I know this, I know. No, leave it to the governor. Every island will have a governor to do it. And they'll have their own officers to help them to do what they need to do.
And so the petition is to get the ball rolling
With that understanding.
with that understanding, educational.
Yeah. It's more of
And
hopefully,
agreements.
like you say, an education. Yes, it is. To
Mhm.
know this is what we as a people, our king, Kamehameha III, started that to make it easier for everyone to understand. See, you know, when the early part of the language was given, it was only Kanaka, supposed to be only Kanaka, but then English was allowed. So even though you have both going on, my grandparents would not allow me to talk Hawaiian because we were getting beatings or we were getting into trouble in school. You cannot speak Hawaiian because they were trying to control the language. So, but in the early days, that's what happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
Today, now it's wide open. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, you come here, you want to enjoy it, follow the correct rules. Simple.
Right.
Read the Great Mahele. Read that. And then read Kamehameha III's Constitution. It's not that hard.
So people can find it online even, huh?
You can find it online, or if you need, I can put out a copy.
Someone that watches this video can find it. I mean,
Yeah. Or give me a call.
the Great Mahele.
Great Mahele. You can call me. I don't care if I live on Kauai. My telephone number 808-634-0469. And the documents I have, I'll share it with you if you show me the respect. Everything that is done under respect.
Mm-hmm.
So when we do things in the islands, we're simple people. When someone comes and try to desecrate anything, I don't even pay attention because, you know, they're supposed to know better. You know, they're the guys coming here teaching, supposed to be teaching us. No, I think we got to teach a lot of them before they really understand. And what we do, simple. Like what Jimbo is doing, yeah, wonderful. Respect, basic respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a heiau, that's our garden for our people. You go there, they do respectful things, and you don't go over there and do whatever you want. You don't go over there. It's not a game place. It's a respectful place. Our ancestors, you know, when I was growing up, my grandmother told me, you know, most of our burials is done in the ocean. So, tutu, why is that? So they can go back to the sand out into the ocean. So,
Mm-hmm.
what? Basically, you know, it's kind of made me feel uncomfortable, but when I look at it eventually, Wow, that is really a clean thing in the sense of you don't have to worry about the burials and all the graves and stuff. Just bury them at the sandy areas and they go back home. The ocean was the home.
And that's
So-
what we're developing with the petition is that
Right.
respect, right?
The
Because
understanding of
the
what we do.
understanding, and
Yeah.
you just shared a little bit about the hay houses that people might not know. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding about why we are really protective. It's because people not taking care of what they're doing.
Hmm.
Just do the right thing, you know. How would they feel we go to their home area and we didn't do anything we want? No way. So all we're doing is asking the same thing, respect.
Got
Take
it.
care, just respect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you too.